Welcome to Movie Reedviews with Cody Reed. Well, hey everyone, it's Cody Reed with Movie Reedviews here. So let's talk a little bit about Suicide Squad. I just barely saw it tonight, and it's the newest superhero, but not really super villain movie of the year of 2016. We've had a few other ones, and this is the newest one from DC Comics and DC movies. They've had Man of Steel for their cinematic universe, starting that off with Superman, and then followed that up with Batman v Superman. So now you have Suicide Squad in a post-Batman v Superman world. I don't want to give spoilers for that movie in case you haven't seen it, but this movie takes place after the events of that, and it's basically about a bunch of villains, basically a bunch of bad guys, like some criminals and some metahumans. So a few of them have powers, and other of them just have good special abilities. But I should really say bad special abilities. They're good special abilities, but they're bad guys, basically. And they're just forced hired by the government. They put, like, chips in their brains to make them, do their bidding. And basically go on these missions and get other evil bad guys, like even badder guys. And so that's the Suicide Squad. It's kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy, like a ragtag bunch of misfits. But instead of Guardians of the Galaxy actually being good guys in their nature, Suicide Squad's more bad guys. I mean, they do have some heart, but they're more typically bad. They're just, they're kind of drawn that way and more criminal-like. So for this movie, the performances really stand out, at least for some of them, like the main few people. They have Deadshot, which is played by Will Smith, and they are able to flesh out his character a little bit, and a lot of the action that he's able to do as this like really good assassin guy. I really like Deadshot and his character. Will Smith did a good job with that. Margot Robbie is also another standout as Harley Quinn. She was basically just like Harley Quinn from the comics, and from the animated show, I should say, because Harley Quinn, actually, if you don't know, she was originated in the Batman animated series from the 90s, and so she actually came from that and not the comics, and then the comics people actually added her into the comics later on because she was so popular. But anyway, Margot Robbie does a fantastic job with her, adds some different layers, and you could basically tell Harley Quinn is already crazy before the Joker, and we're going to get to him in just a quick second, before the Joker actually kind of makes her even a little more crazy, and Harley starts falling for him and just kind of embracing her insanity that's really deep down inside of her. But yeah, the Joker's another standout. He's not a big guy in the movie. He's actually not part of the Suicide Squad. He had like his own mission to try to rescue Harley and try to reconnect with her. So he has like his own side mission. He's a side character. So if you're seeing the movie, don't expect a lot of Joker. Like if you've seen Joker in the commercials, he's not a lot in this movie, but he's actually in it a little more than I thought. I don't want to give away how much he's in the movie because that might be a spoiler, but basically, side character, really good job from Jared Leto. And it's a really different Joker. You have Jack Nicholson, was more of a clown. Heath Ledger was an amazing performance. I still think he's the best, but he played more of an anarchist. And then you have Jared Leto, who's basically just this criminal gangster, but he's probably the scariest of the Jokers because you just know this guy's going to just go out and just kill people just randomly because he can. And yeah, he's just a crazy gangster guy. So those are the three main standouts for me. You also have Rick Flag, who's kind of leading the mission for Amanda Waller, who's the main government lady kind of overseeing the Suicide Squad and forcing them on these missions. So Viola Davis does a good job as Amanda Waller. She's really menacing and just, I don't know, she's just menacing. Let's just leave it at that. But you also have Rick Flag, like I mentioned, he's kind of like the second in command to Viola Davis, and they kind of flesh out their characters a little bit, especially for Rick Flag, and you kind of connect with him a little bit. He has a good bromance kind of with Will Smith because they're both leaders, but Rick Flag's more of a good guy. But the rest of the Suicide Squad, they don't dive a lot into, so that's kind of one of the negatives for me, even though I still like the team as a whole. I just wish they got more into Killer Croc, Captain Boomerang, who else? We have Katana. I mean, those characters aren't even really a lot in the movie. You have Slipknot is barely in the movie. He's part of the Suicide Squad. And then you also have I'm trying to think. Basically, yeah, just a bunch of those little side characters. They're not really in the movie. Oh, Diablo's another one. Diablo is actually pretty cool. They fleshed him out a little bit, and he has these like fire powers, but they just don't flesh out him. Killer Croc, who's like basically a human crocodile kind of guy. They don't flesh out him enough. And yeah, I'm trying to think. Katana, they don't flesh out really a lot. So the main three, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, Joker, all really good. Diablo, Killer Croc, and Katana, and oh, Captain Boomerang, they just kind of flesh out a little bit, and Slipknot barely. But yeah, the villain, basically the villain, if you didn't know already, it's Enchantress. It's like a witch who possesses this other girl. But Enchantress was kind of weird at times, and the whole villain thing didn't really make sense. And even though it was cool to see the Suicide Squad go against her and her minions, it's basically just one of those movies where they just go and kill a bunch of random minions who don't even do much. They don't have any powers. They just fall dead pretty quick. So the villains were kind of meh to me, and a lot of the editing in the first half of the movie was kind of sped up, and you could tell like, oh, it went from here to here to here, and just like some of the scenes were kind of choppy, but that's because they were trying to fit in a lot of characters. I understand that. So they just had a lot to fit into the movie. I feel like if they just added an extra 15 minutes to the first like third of the movie as they're fleshing out characters, it would have really just helped, because you can kind of get to know some of the characters a little more, especially some of those in the Suicide Squad, and it would just kind of make you a little more invested in the characters. That was my thoughts. But yeah, so overall, I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. I was really entertained, actually. It has some really good lead characters, some other good side characters. Some of the Suicide Squad could have been fleshed out more, but I do like the team overall. And then just, yeah, the villain was okay. It was just kind of dumb at times, though. And I just kind of was like, oh, okay, whatever, after a while. And the editing in the first half was a little choppy. But overall, I still really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'd say go check it out. I think a lot of people are actually just going to have a lot of fun, entertaining time. The action's really good. There's some comedy, some humor, and it had some great cameos from Batman. He's in like a few minutes of the movie, but I like saying that. So yeah, drop some comments below. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do some of these audio reviews, and yeah, the summer's kind of wrapping up, so we'll see what other movies I'll be seeing soon, but make sure to subscribe, drop some comments. I'd love to know what your favorite superhero movie for this year has been so far. There's been a few, so leave that in the comments as well. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next time.